Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. But I want to bring your attention to a show that I'm going to be having tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I'm encouraging all of you, those of you that are listening to this video, to tune in tonight, because perhaps this might be some of the reason why we have all of the mess that is going on in our own country. Because you have to listen to these things. These things, the trouble we've been having in Liberia didn't start overnight. These are things that's been happening from time to time. There are those who came before us, past generation, failed to recognize these things, and will continue to repeat them. And because we ourselves have not yet able to recognize and see if these things can be rectified, so that this country, beautiful country of ours, can be built just by our hands as Liberian. Doesn't matter who you are at this point. Concord country, it doesn't even exist anymore. We're all one another. We're all one country, one people. But if we do not understand why these things are happening to us, we're most likely not going to be able to find solution. So I ask you tonight to join me.
Yet, how does one begin to help people who swim on their own flooded streets to voting booths to vote incompetent criminals back into office?
Yes, that is a big question we all have to answer. How do you help people who will go to the voting booth swimming in their own flooded streets just to vote people in offices who are incompetent? And those incompetent people that are being voted in offices will also appoint people who are also incompetent. So this is like a big deal. How do we help our brothers and sisters to make sure that their voting rights are utilized effectively? They have the voting cards. They must be told how important their voting cards are to all of us. And so I'm saying, those of us that have this platform, this is not time for hate. You don't come into this because you hate. You must do all you can to educate the voters themselves, how important their voting cards are. Because of their vote, our leaders be able to do what is right for our people. Join me this evening as I try to explore this particular question and many more that will be coming. Join me this evening at 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, where we will take on this question and be able to see how much we can go. With your help, we, the Liberian people, will be able to educate our brothers and sisters that have the right to vote whoever they want, but they must do so with responsibility. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much.
C'est autissement, encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas bloqué nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas bloqué, t'as mon bien de moi avec nous. En ce moment, on va battre au moins un ou mon temps d'hier est à mon mouillé. On s'est battu pour moi, il pleure. Tout là, le pays.
Doing anything that people get amended, and there will be from 2005 to date. We're all doing anything. I've done something. Trust me. I'll be re-elected. You understand? So you don't need to fight. You don't need to destroy your country. You don't need to even condemn your country. You have to be inspired, peacefully, and then convince the people, persuade people. Politics is about persuasion, and it's about what you have done for your people. I have done so much that I don't need pay for. You know why I don't need pay for? Because Liberians love me and they promoted me when I was on a soccer page. You understand? And they were proud to be Liberian when I was on the soccer page. And I've done my best for my country. I'm a former peace ambassador. It doesn't matter what people say. I'm on record.
Yao, abela lokeyo, mivito jobai, mivito inoba, matisi mokeyo. Manager Gigi, ouais t'es jamais forcé ou si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noscan Yassin de Toyebi, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniche les vieux.
Henry, I can tell you the problem of this country with respect to prices, with respect to health, with respect to education, and largely tied to roads. There are no roads. You don't see opportunities where they should be when you don't have roads. From up to 173 years, we only have one road. How do you know what is happening in Bapolu when you don't have roads? You don't go there. The prices of goods, commodities on the market are high because to get them to where they are needed. So there's no way you can, when I talk about road, I'm not talking about putting road on the sidewalk in Monrovia, $50,000 road and make it $3 million. We're talking about roads that will open up the country. We're talking about roads that will open up opportunities, roads that will get businesses going, and dependency reduced because people believe their goods and commodities can get to the market. That's what we're talking about.
But we'll prosecute and will confiscate assets that people steal and acquire by illicit means. I often say that in Liberia, when people get caught, they send their wife, they send their children, they send their relatives, whatever, to come and beg. I'm saying the Liberian people, don't come and beg. You know, don't come and tell me, oh, stand to help you get elected. He talk nice about you on the radio station. Now he's stealing, so forgive him. Stanley should have known when he was stealing that we're going to punish him. So there's going to be consequences. That's the first thing. Then we have to make sure we're paying people a living wage. So we did the arithmetic, we did the math in 2017 that when you look at policeman's salary or healthcare worker's salary or teacher's salary, by the middle of the month, the money finished. By the time they pay rent, they buy food, they pay the children to eat, and of course, they're not going to starve, right? So the policeman will pull you over, the teacher will accept bribe, they change grades.
Good evening, folks. Good evening. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Many of you on here already. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, Samson to LeBron Public Radio. We want to thank you very much for tuning in this Monday afternoon. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We have some real wonderful show here tonight that we're going to be doing here. Safety, Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again for all your blessings. We want to thank you for your protection. We want to thank you for all the guidance that you continue to do and give us. Thank you for the opportunity, my Lord. Continue to provide the opportunity to all of us so that we will continue to do what is good for our brothers and sisters. My Lord, you know the Liberian diaspora, there are two tables, one table here to feed, another table back home. And because of the opportunity that you provided for us to be here in this land of free where people can work when you have the ability, we will utilize whatever opportunity that you're giving us, whatever proceeds come out of that opportunity, we will do what we can to share with our brothers and sisters back home. My Lord, thank you. Thank you. Only you can do this for us. Only you can do this for you. Because of you, we are here. Because of you, we are here. And we must recognize that and say thank you. Thank you for all that you've done, and thank you for all that you continue to do. Bless all. You don't discriminate. You don't say this one that from total or not. No, you bless everybody evenly. Thank you. And we will recognize and continue to praise you publicly, privately, whatever time we have. Whenever the breath is there, we will say thank you. Thank you. My Lord, election is coming, and the Republic of Liberia is at a spearhead now. We are the tip of the spear, of the election spear. We put the country of Liberia in your hands. We put the leadership of Liberia in your hands. We put the political opposition leadership of Liberia in your hands. We put the entire country and the electoral process in your hand, my Lord. Help us. Guide the system. Guide of all. Let us see reason to do what is good for our people. Only through you. Only through you that things are possible. I want to ask you again, my Lord. Give them wisdom, the leadership of the Republic of Liberia, the opposition, give them wisdom to do what is good for our people. And they should see, their eyes should be open to see that election is about ideas. It is not a war. Let us scrabble over the ideas, and may the best person with good idea wins. My Lord, thank you. We're here again tonight. Give us wisdom. Wash our thought. Wash our mouth. Wash us. Whatever comes out of our mouth, my God, it should be of a decent proposal for our brothers and sisters that are listening this evening. I say thank you. My Lord, we ask that the host country, the United States of America, be blessed as well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's get it going, folks. Good evening, folks. It's the political season. They say not there yet, but it's getting hot. But one of the things, those of us that consider ourselves political junkie, one of the things that we are enjoying and truly like about this is that the democracy process for which some of us were hurt badly. Some of us have not gotten over our hurt yet. After almost 40, 50 some more years, we're still hurting day in, day out because of democracy. So if these things are happening where people will come out to say my ideas is better than yours, and not so say one, so say all, one man, one vote. Oh, Jesus, thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for my eyes to still be open to see this. Thank you. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you. And we will continue to have that opportunity. The opportunity of saying one man, one vote. I am the best. My ideas, my policy are better than this person who's claiming to want to lead you. This is democracy. Not only are my ideas better, but my opponent ideas are taking the Liberian people to the clinic. This is what I can do. This is who I am. This is what my ability. Oh, why would we not enjoy that? We say we enjoy it. We enjoy the process, and we pray that the process will remain non-violent whatsoever. We will engage as well. Those of us that have already made up our mind to say we will this person or that person, we will engage positively. We're going to do it with responsibility. We will criticize, but we will do it with responsibility and also do it with respect. Because these are not people to say they are our enemies. These are our brothers and sisters. We just don't agree on ideas and policy. Their intent is to take Liberia to the next level. Our intent is to take Liberia to the next level as well. The same mountaintop they want to take Liberia is the same mountaintop every one of us want to take Liberia. How do we get there? That is the process. There are those who want to get there through corrupt means, and we will bring that up. There are those who want to get there through the back door. We will bring that up. Liberia is open for business, political business, that is. Let us look at people with brilliant ideas. Now, this could be two things now. You can have a brilliant idea, but the implementation process of those ideas, you don't have it. You don't have it within you. Your ideas are all good on paper. The paper will eat. The paper will eat. Idea good on paper that what we eat, we want implementation. And so Samson told, and what's going on? What happened? Come on, why are you doing that to me? What are you? I see you, Alfonso. You and Natalia, you'll take your food from the water tonight. I'm not playing with you. They are saying, you see this? They think they the one that start quick. You see this? It's just refreshing. It's a refreshing cocktail from Town. It just arrived. I sent it by. They sent it by again because of what you and Natalia did the last time. I'm letting you take your food from the water tonight. You say something to say. I'm telling you right now. I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with you. I can't start singing song in my ear here. What kind of business is that? Again, folks, Samson told I'm on it tonight. So we're going to look into these things. While I'm talking, I'm still trying. But why did they behave like that? What was the reason? All right, let's try that again. Okay, so all right. So they, oh, okay, I know why. Okay, yeah, well, I'm from Toton. I got a team my ear, but I'm turning it on. They're expected to come play. I come here bling Mr. So and Mr. Cry here for nothing. That good cartel, but not for your ear. I apologize. I'm ready for your ear. That your phone not in here. But myself, the man from Toton, he ready. He ain't ready for prime time. But anyway, let's go ahead. Let's start again. Now, who would? Here we go. Here we go. Let me see now. Let's see. Let's see. How is this going? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. All right. Okay, folks. You want to say you? You want to say you? You want to say it? Okay. All right. Yeah, myself now. The man from Total, he can do everything correct. Correct. You don't let the other people there. But you, folks, serious business. Did you guys see? Instead of me turning my earpiece on, because I couldn't hear myself, I immediately went to the two guys. Went to the two of, I didn't even look at Boston District President, who is also my own little brother. I didn't look at him. I didn't look at JJ Dennis to say in Apple bad way on a ground. I go straight to Alfonso and Mr. Cry. On a serious note, that's how we do business in Liberia. Something happened, you don't even look anywhere, you don't investigate. You set your mind, and that's it. But how quick do we eat crow here? This first, we're gonna have good time. We're gonna have good time. Samson told Labrador folks, I'm enjoying myself. No, but on a very serious note, the gloves are now off completely. So from that, let me read it, and I hope my panelists will be joining me here tonight. So, my people, the crowd business in Liberia, it has something. The kind of crowd that were in Buchanan, it will depend on. They will go wrong campaign in total because the crowd was not easy. They were, I say, so red and blue. They scared me, sir. They scared me a little bit. They scared me plenty. I will not lie. They scared me plenty. But then when I call, people say, Mr. Toe, that Liberian crowd, they show up in drove, but time for election, they're not there. And we saw what happened 2020. But yeah, we gotta take President. No, on a very serious note. Tomorrow I have a video when he was in Bassett. His delivery. This young man has gotten comfortable in his position. He must not be taken lightly. If he say yes, I'm going to a debate, y'all go over there and start speaking all your big book and think you will defeat him because of big book. No. This young man, not only is he popular, but he is getting comfortable in his position. If you look at his video, the way he was addressing the crowd, you think he's been president for almost 20 some odd years. My goodness, look, he's seeing an element. That's very scary. I tell you, you are going to go there and say, no, far from it. You're yelling, screaming, calling people. You were not playing around, pointing finger. You were not playing around. The President, we were not playing around. Right? Take the thing serious now. My goodness. Hey, how you can't go with a guy with a book business and say Bogo. That will not work. We gotta try something else. I'm serious. But anyway, folks, Samson told LeBron Pobredo. Let me go ahead and read this thing, and it's coming from Front Page Africa, of course. President Weah was in Bassa, and a week or so ago, former Vice President Baka was also on the campaign trail. And President Weah decided to address some of the comment that was made by former President Wakai, of course. There's no mistake here, President Wakai. That sounds so beautiful. Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, the President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Joseph Newman Wakai. I wanted to play the thing here, but anyway, so let me go ahead. So, President, this is very, you will laugh, but if you watch the video, it's not laughing matter. It's not laughing matter. But let me read it. Buchanan, Grand Bassa County, President Weah has sharply reacted to former Vice President Joseph Barker after the Unity Party stand-up bearer said the president was a bobo, an ineffective lawmaker when he served as senator. Recently, Ambassador Barker told his supporters that while serving as vice president and president of the Liberian Senate, President Weah, when serving as senator, was always quiet and hardly spoke on any major issue or debate. He said, owing to Weah's poor legislative record, it is not a surprise that he has dismally performed as president. But responding to Ambassador Bakai, you're listening, yeah, President Weah. But responding to Ambassador Bakai, President Weah said he actually participated in section and formed part of the major debate. But each time he raised his hand, ex-VP Bakai as presiding officer was always sleeping. Politics now open, folks. Politics now open. The gloves are off. Political gloves are off. No question. Just the other day, someone said that when I was in the Senate, as president of the Senate, Joy Weah did not put his hands up. But people, in a very soft tone, yes, you are correct. You did not see my hand up because every time I put my hand up, you were sleeping. He said in a pointer jab at the former VP. With less than 3 months to Liberia's critical election, major political parties have begun engaging the electorates, convincing them to win their vote. Last week, former Vice President Barker led the Unity Party, an affiliated political party, to Bon and Nima counties. At each stop, a muffled crowd gathered there. Actually, in the same crowd business, we'll do what I want tomorrow. Gathered them and addressing them, Barker and his team promised to liberate Liberia from the bad leadership. The gloves are off, my people. From the bad leadership. Honor President Weah. They accused the Weah-led government of reneging on his promise to deliver better, and accuse him and his government officials of engaging in massive corruption. I will deal with that later. However, addressing scores of supporters in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County over the weekend, President Weah said, contrary to Ambassador Barker's claims, he ably represented Moserado County as senator. He boasted of being the only senator among 30 lawmakers to speak against the higher cost of passport. Through his advocacy, he said the cost of passport was reduced. For the first time, Senator Abache recognized me that the 29 people serve passports will be $50 US. And I, Joy Weah, said it will never happen. Yet, someone said when I was in the Senate, I didn't talk. I can't talk. I can't just talk, he said. When I talk, I must say the right thing at the right time. That's why I can be successful in what I do. President Weah said. He said, contrary to his critics, claim his government remains the best. Contrary to his critics, claiming his government remains the best ever in the history of Liberia. On his watch, he said he has built more hospitals, roads, and housing than any other Liberian president. Although Weah and his cabinet officials often make these claims, there has been no empirical evidence to back their claims, the writers wrote. Recently, Finance and Development Planning Minister Samuel Tuah claimed that the current government has paved 227 kilometers out of the total of 1,372 kilometers of road, of paved roads in the country. But local voices, Liberia Fact Check, established that the finance minister was incorrect. And when you go on the fact check stuff, and I'll bring those up tomorrow. Again, folks, Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Want to thank all of you again. But here's the stuff here tonight. Okay. Here's the stuff here. President Weah and Ambassador Baka, I think this is going to be a very interesting debate, to be honest with you. It's going to be a very interesting debate in that President Weah, like I stated earlier, it seemed to me that he's now more comfortable as president of the Republic of Liberia than when he started. Now, but yes, the only drawback with him, as far as I'm concerned, is this. When him and his people go out to make these claims, their record to prove otherwise. If you go on a factcheck.com, they listed all of the road that Mr. Tuah was talking about, and they're not facts. They fact checked them and said that was incorrect. They pointed that out. The Minister of Public Works did the same thing, and the fact checker. So you have these young people nowadays that are so versed in the social media issue, you can't put a wolf over their eyes. So this political season, I think those of us that are behind the mic, yeah, sometimes we claim to be, oh, I admire this person, like me, I admire Ambassador Baka. But I will continue to fact check him as well. If I have information, he says something that is not quite correct, and I have that information to prove that he's not correct, I will say so. Same thing with President Weah. But this time around, to be honest with you, President Weah is so comfortable now that he's making these public announcements, public pronouncements. I did this, I did that. Unless he truly believes that Liberian will not push back if those things are not true. If not, then I think he has to do more than that. But then again, who's going to hold his feet to the fire? The opposition, hopefully, will hold his feet to the fire. But if they're not doing that, and he just make this statement and get away with it, and then no fact check, nothing coming out anywhere else, then I think we're going to have a serious campaign. But I'm just saying, let's go back to the crowd. And tomorrow, like I said, I will dissect his speaking. I will play the video so you can see his hand movement, you can see his body movement, and you will hear the voice and for coming from himself. And then I will show you the crowd as well. The crowd is scared me. There are plenty of people. That crowd scared me. Okay. So the crowd scared me. But then when again last week, when Ambassador Baka was all over the place, the crowd said, well, too much. So the question to me is, for me, the question that is, where these people are coming from? Thousands of people in Buchanan. thousands of people in Bon County and Nima County. Where are they coming from? Are they all coming from Monrovia? They're not working? How do they get to Buchanan? How do they get to Bon County? How do they get to Nima County for Ambassador Waka? Nima Bon and Nima for Ambassador Waka, and then Grand Ambassador for President Weir. How do they get there? Because to be able to have that kinds of massive people, most likely there was a bus load of people that went over there. But they can afford Bassa, Grand Bassa, and they can afford Nima, Ganta, those places, because they are asked for. Can they do the same thing Grand Judas Wadru? No. Can they do the same thing in Buchanan? I mean, in Sino County? No. Can they do the same thing in any of the southeastern county? Not even in Lofa County. Can they do that? No, not really. Because most of the time the roads are impossible. So they can't get to those things. So they will do Buchanan, they will do Banga, they will do Ganta, and they will do Moserado, and that's about it. That's that area, the area that is paved. And including Ambassador Waka, because that, for me, that is the weakness of the policy of this government and the past government, including Ambassador Waka policy of the past government. Because if you just say, I'm going to concentrate my road connectivity policy just in a particular area of the Republic of Liberia, then what happened to the other people? But then again, Southeastern, they don't care. They'll take advantage of them. What are you going to say? The entire county grant, you're kind of going to throw their weight behind President Weir again this time around. So what are the people wrote that, Impo wrote that they will vote for him? So who cares? You think these are the things, these are the kinds of judgment call the politician will make. These people will vote for me, whether we put road there or not. So just take our time. And that's what they're doing. Now, the Senate the other day had my good friend, minister on the grill, hot seat. But it didn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere. Because while the minister was there, she was being questioned and what have you. She gave her own explanation. And many intellectual, Liberian intellectual, don't believe those explanations that was presented by the minister. And we'll deal with those kinds of things tomorrow as well. You have people in Liberia, highly educated. Many of them used to be here in the United States or even in Europe and work, make money, make good living. But not once were they able to ask any entity, whether it be the entity they work for or the entity that coming to work for the company they're working for, not once will they stand up and say, I want kickback. We'll go to Liberia. That's all they do. A contract. Every little contract. I don't mind saying that. Every little contract that comes in our country, specifically in my line of work, engineering, construction, every little contract that comes in our country, whether it be a foreign company that take the contract or a Liberian-based company that take the contract, those who are responsible to give the contract for the bidding process, they want kickback. You don't have kickback to them, you're not getting no contract. I say so. And they better not dare me. They better not dare me. But those are the kinds of stuff. How do you expect Liberia to move forward? Who among these political candidates that will be able to clean this thing up? Liberian professionals are themselves being compromised. People that I know that are so straight, those days when we used to be here with Liberty Party, we were pushing the line. We cannot compromise ourselves because we need to improve the livelihoods of Liberians, and it can only be done if we try to
curtail the corrupt behavior. And my people, these are the people today themselves are allowing themselves to be compromised, completely compromised. What do? Now, I'm not above the board either. Who knows, if I were to be in Liberia, I'm probably going to be able to do the same, because one of them told me, I mean, you don't live here. That they cannot gain the pure player, that what we're going to go by. So what do? It is unacceptable. Sooner or later, they're well going to dry it out. This is not your own income. This is not your own resources that are coming to you to give these contracts. The president goes out, make a case for Liberia to be developed, and people feel sorry for the country, and they said, okay, we're going to give 1 or 2 cents. Then the 1 or 2 cents that come out, those people who are managing the 1 or 2 cents, they say, before I give you contract, you got to give me half of the contract money. For what? You're doing nothing. Nothing. Just say that to manage the and you're getting paid, by the way. And these people, sometimes I see some of them on air here. Some of them come on air and make on social media and make these ridiculous statements how they're protecting the interests of the Liberian people. And I just look at them and start laughing. Because I know them. I know the secret. I know what they're doing. I know what they're getting. I just come out and laugh. Why would you do that to us? Eugene Falcon said, I'm going to be the one to point you out before you stop. I will not do that. Because first thing, I don't live in Liberia. If I was in Liberia doing those kinds of stuff, then that would have, I believe, I don't want to promise anything, but I think I would have done something differently. Because what's the purpose of me going to school all these years? All these years. 560 years I went to school. So that I would take kickback? For what reason? Today, and now I'm not saying it to toot my own horn, but this is what I do. So today, my supervisor, we had a conference early this morning, 9 o'clock Pacific time, which would be 12 o'clock Eastern time. And every year they rate you, your performance, when they go from I call it I, which is knee improvement, M, which is meet whatever they call it, that means you're doing good. E, passing that. So within the last 10, 11, 12 years, I've been in the E column most of the time. So the supervisor today, he and I were talking, and he said, Samson, one of the things that we all like about you is that you take charge, one thing, and you're eager to finish the project. You don't wait until somebody we just give you the resources and you just go ahead and do that. And I just laugh. Because one of the things that I believe, I'm from Toll Town. Serious note. The company I'm working for, no crime man there that I know of. Among the almost 30, 40,000 people in this company. I don't know one crime man that there. There's a Liberian that there, but he fired from crime. In fact, he doesn't want to be called Liberian anyway. He said you don't have nothing to do with Liberia anymore, anyhow. But the point that I'm making here is this. So the first thing when I got in, I recognized that this is not Brown Tove Company. In order for me to move up, in order for me to do good, what are the tools that these people use to do what they do here? I got hold of those tools, and I put my heart, my mind, my soul in it, and all of the design tools, including the book. I studied them. And so when I tell you, so today again, the supervisor there, you know, I got E, you know, we should. I tell him, boy, you're giving me no money. I get that E I will eat. He started laughing. What do you mean? That's why I spoke the real librarian. That E I will eat. I want money. And you tell me I'd say E. That E I will eat. So, but what do you mean by anybody? This is not what he said. This is not cereal where you have alphabet cereal. I just laugh. You don't understand that one. But the point here is this. When we put ourselves in this position, we have to do better than that. The reason I'm bringing this up, I mean, I'm waiting for Mr. George. I'm waiting for Sisse to join me here. Any of the panelists will join me here. But the reason I'm bringing these things up on the discussion tonight, it's not like I want to boast or anything like that. Far from it. Far from it. Yeah, these young engineers that just coming in, graduating, coming in, joining. So I use that opportunity to test myself. All the big more I got, do I really know the thing there? So I encourage them to ask me questions. So they ask me questions. If you're putting two lines together, making an alignment, at what point that you eliminate the curves in the alignment? It states that in Astro. It has to be less than 30 minutes. You know, our degree, 1 degree, 30 minutes, 30 seconds, it has to be less than 30 minutes. So if you have two lines joining together, tangent to tangent, the PI has to be less than 30 minutes. Astro, they say that. Do I know that? Yes, I do. So I do all kinds of stuff. They don't even bother me. And this total man, they're ready over there in enough. When they're ready to put their bridges together, they seek the total man. Because the total man will give them good products. But not once have I find myself to go to somebody, oh, hey, you know, my baby ain't got milk, you got to give me something else. I can't do that. I do that, I'll be out of the door. But when these same people, I know of a man, yeah, used to be here in Sacramento as an engineer. Of course, they call him office engineer, pretty much. He's very good at paperwork. Very, very good at in those days when he was here. Anytime each of the construction company, when they get contract from our company, they will ask him to come and join them because our company liked the way he does business. He went home. He went to Liberia. Go see him today. He's not even doing any of those things that he was very good at. He there, whatever they gain, they take it. Where's the pride now? What happened? People sit here and fight for this position, knowing fully well they are not capable, they do not have the ability to do this work. Let's just take, for example, and I know many of you will disagree with me again tonight. That's okay. That's what we do. Mr. George, Mr. Emon George, if you're listening, please, if you want to join me, please do so. Many of you will disagree with me again tonight, but I will say anyway, Raku, the liberal progressive. I'm not here for kumbaya. I'm here to be truthful. President Weah is the president of the Republic of Liberia, duly elected. And he recognized he cannot do this job all by himself. So whether he get friends or not, whether you his brother or not, you must recognize that you are not working for the farm of President Weah. You are working for the Republic of Liberia. President Weah invites you to join him to do a specific job. They're not asking you to pray, singing, and tell you how good he's doing if he. Unless, for example, Samson told here, sitting here this evening, I don't know anything about medicine, but because I'm handsome and I can talk, I know how to talk good, I know how to speak the real broken English and things like that. I think I'm the best. So because I'm handsome and I'm young, I'm only 32-year-old. So probably I say, no, my girl said, my man, I said, oh, yeah, 250,000. Give me the minister position for the ministry at health. I don't know if I say about it. I pay. They put me in there. So how do I maintain that job? When president going, I will be the first at the airport, first in line, so you can see me. I will never be late. But me, Samson, too, if I were to be the cleaning person at public work, and they say, you're not go meet the president, I know my job is there, I'm not going anywhere right now. I got a job to do. So if you want to fire me, you can, because that's my area. We have to stand up for what we know that is right. So, President, we ask you to join him to serve the country. And then you decided in the process, you're going to enrich yourself. When Madam Sally brought all these young people like Judy Morgan, what happened? Where is he today? He's not even in Liberia. Why is he not in Liberia? That's his country. You went there to serve. Your time was over. Why can't you stay there now? Why are you coming back here to do what? Unless if you went over there to get paid and send your money back here and be able to live here comfortable if you come back. Making all that money those days. Why are you not in Liberia? Under the sun, the heat, and stay there to make things right. Many of the young people President Sally have that time, they're not there anymore. They're all over this place. And that's why our brothers and sisters, when you get out of here, you want to go look for a job, but they hate you. Because not really hate you, but they feel that you will abandon them again when the time is when your time is over. So those brothers and sisters that know they're not going anywhere, why can't they get a job? But I say before you get a job, make sure you get the job that you can do. Don't get the job you know you cannot do. Because you're going to hurt all of us. What is so difficult about rural rehabilitation process? Let me just give you a little example of this here this evening. And I know many of you that have been to Liberia when it's rainy. Where is the most common place that a car will get stuck? In the mud. When you view the area, most of it is in a creek area. Car will not get stuck up the hill. They've got problems sliding down, but once you get up the hill, because no water over there, all the water coming down. You want to tell me you don't have Liberian engineers that will be able to provide some reasonable fix? They do. But when the Liberian government gives you a contract, they don't even pay you on time. They want you to do pre-finance. While you're doing pre-financing, you don't even have the money to do the pre-finance in the first place. Then you're going to go borrow. When you go to the bank to go borrow to do pre-finance, the bank's supposed to give you 20,000. They're taking their cut right away. You're supposed to do 20,000 pre-finance. Then you borrow the 20,000. They're taking their cut. They're taking their interest out. So out of that 20,000, maybe you'll be lucky if you get about 11, 12,000. The 11, 12,000 can't even maintain the current staff, let alone pay the specialties, those who can do certain things. And you think we're going to move? President, we are leave. Ambassador Barker comes in. If these type of situations are not rectified, we're not going anywhere. Mr. George, when you're ready, just throw your thumb up and we'll bring you in. These are things that we all have to fight against. They're not that difficult to do. But many of the young Liberian engineers that I know, if I had my own way, if I had money, I would take them out. Brilliant, brilliant young people, brilliant engineering, good engineers. All day chasing a dream that is not coming. Only few people that was sleeping in the dumper yesterday, they're all rich now. And they're not rich because of hard work. I don't believe. But what I do know, those that I know that are doing the kickback are rich now. Rich people, millions of dollars. And when President Weah leave and Ambassador Baka comes in, the people who everybody, Ambassador Baka is very good. They all make and deliver. They please spare me in that. You're doing it for yourself and not for Ambassador Baka business. You think we stupid around here? They're not for Ambassador Baka business. Some of us really genuinely want to see him lead because I know he can help. But many of you around him will put in a bubble so they will take the people money. Mr. George, when you're ready, just put your thumb up. Okay. So they will take the people money. And then you'll say that you want your Mr. George, I thought you said you were ready.
Yeah, I hit something. I want to position man.
All right, let me put you back. Let me put you in the background while you fixing it. Okay? So we're not stupid. How many of you will be in the same position as those who have put President Weah in a bubble? Get in that same position. And then millions and millions of dollars come and say you are not asked for kickback. You're able? You're able? You're able? They will do the same thing. I don't know what we're here fighting ourselves for. But you know the good thing about this Liberian politics, it keeps some of us alive. It keeps people alive. I can't wait for tomorrow to come back and do the same thing. I enjoy myself. But that's besides the point. Those of us that still have relatives back home, they're hurting. They're hurting. They're hurting. Mr. George, when you're ready, thumb up. We'll bring you in. Okay. They're hurting. And so how do we stop that? Even if we're not able to stop it, how do we improve on whatever it is we say we have? Every time when we have election don't go, the next person come in, everybody, whoa, go look at the kind of car these people that were 6 years ago that barely have any kind of motorbike. Go look at the kind of car these people are riding right now. For what? You do those kind of things like we're so stupid, we don't know what's going on. And if Ambassador Baka gets in, all of these people that are around Ambassador Baka, most of the people that are around Ambassador Baka, what do you think they're there for? They're there to seek the interests of Liberia. Many of these same people were there before. Then we move. They won't come back again. So as much as I'm saying they should come back, we should hold their feet to the fire. They must declare their access before they take offices. Let me bring in Mr. George. Mr. George, thank you for joining me. We appreciate it. How Matabata so far? What do you think about Matabata?
Continue, Tabata. With this, Tabata, it is what it is.
Okay. All right. What's on your mind? Go ahead. What do you think?
Why no? I know official campaign has not been declared, but it seems that the government now, CDC, is already campaigning. So
yeah, the speech President we are that's complete campaigning. But then at the end, though, he cut himself and said, "We're not ready yet. The campaign hasn't started yet. When it starts, I will tell you more." So by that statement alone, they can't hold him for anything, for any violation, because he knew it, he said it, and that should be good enough.
Yeah, the words between the president and former vice president, VP, who were not talking, who was sleeping.
Yeah, I know.
Lord.
President, we have to put my hair up, but you didn't see my hair because he's sleeping.
But then he said,
I thought that was very low.
Lord, then he said, I want you to recognize it. I want you to not.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, exactly. How about you recognize you? So that means you maybe the beginner catch your head.
But you know that. But you know, so when I sit there, I try to go back again to our time, then the old time. If Ellen Johnson Sirleaf didn't do what she promised to do, and if it is not for social media, I will still going back into those days. What they used to call what? What they used to call a petition or what? What was the name? What the time used to you doing toward that time? Resolution to come and say,
They still. Oh, you mean in turn for you to state to the resolution and then and it become final?
Yeah, go for another turn. Two turn, third turn.
Yeah.
This is what on a working Monday. On a working Monday,
and you have thousands,
and you say people must go to tell the president thank you for what? What is the thank you about? Samson, you got a piece of job to do. I'm supposed to clean my floor. I clean my floor every day. Why the people must take the whole office time to come tell me thank you? I clean my floor. The president was elected to do a piece of job. If people, cabinet minister want to go tell him thank you, that's a business. But you telling everybody to go to converge. These people, so many people work for government. Who take care of the job that when they leave the office, who there is to do the function of they're supposed to do? Revenue being lost, and this kind of thing here. But again, the country we got, Liberia, the question here is now we're asking some of these people. You tell the president thank you for the marvelous job he's doing. But what is happening around you in your environment, in your community? Has a condition change to really be happy to say you're going to tell your president thank you? We got what they call disadvantage. Zoko is on the rise. Crime is on the rise. Look, with these things happening, and people are saying, oh, the person is doing extremely well. This is the only person where I had to do such a work. But sometimes when you ask me, Mr. Toh, what has changed in your environment, your personal life, since this government came to power? Out of 10 will not show you anything. Where they were sleeping 5 years ago, they stay sleeping on that same place. Look, what person we had done, Mr. Toh, that is the best that person we can do for Liberia. He cannot go above that again. That is the best. The one that he had done, that is the best. He cannot go beyond that again. So, second time, you just putting yourself in a more problem. The CEO people, if it's really let them go, they will be ushered into the second term. What is your idea? 5 years, 6 years, didn't do it. That the next 6 years going to do it? This is the best of person we are. The free tuition he gave, yeah, that's the best he could do. The wire fee, that's the best he could do. Those road the paving, that's the best, but nothing beyond that. So that is what someone was saying. You have choice. You have Mr. Cummings. But these things someone on talk and people don't let you hear it. Samuel Tuawe is the smartest man, or Samuel Jackson called in Liberia or West Africa, the smartest finance minister, or Samuel Jackson called him. These people cannot tell you within the 5 to 6 years how many direct foreign investment have come into the country. That is in terms of businesses that are 100% we are. They brought in, they say, hey, go to Sano, go and operate. You go to Grand Gilead, go to Maryland so it can provide an avenue for those people. How many of those things they can count? Zero. And in order to lift people out of poverty, the people must be, one, they must be educated. So you know that. The only way you can change the lifestyle of people, one way is education. That's the only thing. Because when people are educated, then they can be able to do something for themselves to change their lives. But look at our system today. What is the improvement today? People say this now on floors in schools in Liberia. I'm not saying President Weah is responsible. This is an old age problem. But we expect for every leader that we elect to go one step forward. So the next one will come and add onto it. But when you come, it start going downward spiral, then there is problem. And so those are things now I'm sitting there wondering, what will this election do for us? It's a make or break. Because these players today, we see that the same player going, that the same player playing the team tomorrow. 6 years, you are not done no cabinet research shuffle. So it tells you that those people you had, they are excellent, brilliant. They're doing a marvelous job. Those people be going again. So what would be the new idea? The Unity Party people, the same folks who are there 12 years today now, they're trying to put the old wine in a new bottle now. But you were there. What did you people do that you want to go back to finish now? The same story mark people corruption, allegation of corruption, allegation of killing. So what is it that you didn't do now? You want to come back to tell the Liberian people that you want to do differently with the same old player again?
Well, thank you, Mr. George. I think to be honest, when we start having these conversations and start going deep into it, and so to speak, bare our soul publicly about what we feel about this country, it's very sad. Some of us, they think I didn't see the government much because I left at a very young age, and PRC first year I jumped out of there, so I didn't see much. And then, of course, once the constitution was changed, they became a president. I didn't see much at all, so I can't speak much about Dole government except for what I was reading and what I have read so far at the time. What I can say about Toba government, even though I wasn't much older either, and I have nothing much until the latter stage of Toba government that I started getting my foot into foot soldiers and stuff like that. So, folks will soon be opening up the line, and then we'll take the call. But the point is, I think Liberian, whether you support President Weah or you support Ambassador Bakar, we have to, or even if you support Councillor Gonglo or Armo Cummings, we have to seriously think within ourselves, just among ourselves, even inside of us. What exactly would we want out of that country? Do we want it? Do we want Liberia to continue to be the elephant meat, Well, one side there's a story that back in the day they say there's an elephant that will come from the ocean and show one side. They cut, eat up. Everybody in that village will eat, get tired. Then go again, kind of show the other side. That's the kind of Liberia we want? It's so sad. It's so sad. You have a country where the population, you have the the younger people are in, their population is higher than the older folks. And yet still, we're not pushing the line of educating these people. As somebody said here the other day, I believe it was Ambrose, who told us, look, we're Liberian, we speak English, even if the English is not as perfect. But we speak English just like the people from Virgin Island. In fact, those days when we came in this country, I know when the refugee came, they really didn't experience the tough life of immigration in this country. But some of us, when we came, you'll be working, and the mailman who used to do the uniform, it's almost the same as the immigration office uniform. When you see them, you walk through the back door, you're not coming back, you leave the company and go to another one because you don't have no papers. So many of the time when you go put in an application, you tell them you're from the Virgin Island. They will ask you, how can you have an accent? Oh, I'm from the Virgin Island. Because we speak just like the people from the island. And they believe us those days. So to get people in this place was not easy. It was very, very difficult. Just like the Liberian immigration will run behind. Here, they don't run behind you. They come, they know where you are. So they don't run behind you like they do in Monrovia. But the process was just as bad as it was in Liberia those days. Because if you don't have no papers and you start working, you got to support yourself. Even when you're in school, you're not supposed to work. And when you start working, your eyes is always behind your head. I remember those days when we used to go play football. And somebody, all they have to say, immigration, and people start scattering all over the football field. That's how bad it was those days. Now they don't even, they come in, they get their green card right at the airport. So it's not the same. But the point here, Mr. George, what do we want? As Ambrose said the last time, Liberia, we speak English. English is our first language. Look when you do some call, or people call you for businesses and credit card. Look at the kind of bad English the Chinese can be speaking. Look at the bad English the Indian people can be speaking. But they have those contracts. They have people working and making robocall here. I have my nephew in Liberia. He does the same thing. He alone. He does. The people hire him because, of course, he came in this country when he was about 3 or 4 years old. So, but he's in Liberia now, and so he doesn't have no accent. But if we were sincere with each other, those people, even if you got the money illegally, if you form a company for people to come and do these kinds of stuff, young Liberian will get off the street. They will be on the phone. They will get a job. And even if they're being paid $1,000 a month, they will be happy. Of course, they should be making more than that. But none of those things comes to mind. Everybody, all they want is themselves and their family. And this is the same thing here. We're going to go through the same process. You saw how much we were so anxious about Dallas Dillon, as though he was coming to fix everything. But by the time we recognize that he's just a human being like any other person, by that time he was already elected for 9 years.
Yeah, the thing here is, Mr. Toll, people have to be principle-minded. People have to have value. You have to stand for something. You can't be somewhere where the wind blowing to that where you find yourself. And if you do like that, yeah, you may think to yourself it's a good life. But it is not a life for somebody to live like that. What am I seeing here? someone will say, you know what happened? I will not do this. If I will sleep hungry, let me sleep hungry. But it's not good.
But not in Liberia, though.
Oh no.
Not
My
in
man,
Liberia.
my man, I'm not time to chop. And the other people doing
Yeah,
it.
and then what the vice president told us that what time?
You see, the people who supposed to say as an inspiration to these people to lead them, they are the one who are champion this kind of corrupt attitude.
That what time to eat?
They are the one. They are the one. So the people that come in behind it, they look at those people as the one, as a mentor. Oh,
Yeah.
that guy there, he's smart. He know how to see it. I will be that. I want to be that guy.
Yeah, they look at people who used to eat, I don't call it French bread with gari 6-7 years ago.
Today, these people are
look at
riding.
the table they have now.
People are riding car that was $60,000.
Yeah, and they never even used to have taxis. They never even used to have motorbike those days.
The man was living in
5-6 years ago.
The man was living in one room.
One room.
Today, he was able to buy maybe $150,000 in Liberia, cash. And the other guy sitting there, I mean, you see, the man, the man out today, the man life change.
That's all this campaign is for. Nothing
So
else.
they think that by going to government is the quicker place you can make the fast money to get rich. And some are saying it is not time that we talk about making government unattractive. And how do you do that? The benefit and how money these people make, Liberia need to stand and say, cut this money down.
They should start with the legislation.
That's what I'm saying.
That the first place they need to start.
I gotta go back. I think 2 years ago, I was checking Ghana. At the time, a senator in Ghana was making $3,005 US equivalent with 2 cars and 2 house service. That's it. The highest paid people were the minister was making $5,000 at that time. But the parliament at the time, I think 2 years ago, they were making $3,005 as a salary with 2 cars and I think 2 horse, or maybe that's it. They didn't, if the other benefit I didn't say, but that was the salary that they said they were making. And they thinking about one time, they wanted to increase the salary. And the people of Ghana went on the rampage. They said, no way. So they back off. But in Liberia, the legislature created a law that they can increase the salary. Nobody asked them. They can increase the salary. Nobody asked them. What kind of society we want to build like that? These are some of the things that make the government job attractive. So everybody that come out of school, something want to be a politician, want to go work in government. Because while they see their friend then, they see some of the people that are with them, they manage to get their way, and they see their lifestyle has changed overnight. So all they're thinking, this is the best way you can get money, you can get rich quicker once you get into politics. So now it becomes a magnet to attract people to be forced to work in government instead of say, hey, let us try to focus on the private sector. So
yeah, but let me put a number up, Mr. George. But everything you're saying makes sense and it's true. But as far as I'm concerned, nothing's gonna change. Even if Kumi comes to power, nothing's gonna change.
Well, I don't want to say Kumi comes about nothing will change. Sometimes
Kumi can throw as many people in jail as possible, but it's nothing. It's not gonna change. Somebody gonna have to stand up and say enough is enough.
Mr. Toh,
Enough is enough.
Mr. Toh, you are happy. You will not be able to eradicate corruption within Liberia in a period of 5 years. But the measure that you will put in place, the system you introduce, that will start holding people accountable. And the next one that can try to build on that system, then of course you have a system. But if anybody can and doesn't do nothing and just say it's business as usual,
just hold on, let Mr. Judge finish and we'll bring you in.
As business as usual, then of course people will continue to do the same thing because why? There had not been any deterrent to say, you see that man, he stole the last time, he went to court, They found him guilty. They sentenced him. They seized his property. Once people start seeing those things, people start having a second thought. But if it remains as business as usual, no. The man can't dismiss him. His friend, they say, "Go sit down. 2 years. After 2 years, we'll bring you back."
Okay. Let me take hold up. That's Carter. Carter, good evening.
Yeah. Good evening, how you doing?
Not bad. Langley, just hold on 1 minute, please, if you don't mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll hold on. Mr. George, good evening to you.
Kevin, how you doing?
On live with you guys. But I've been listening to the conversation, and I'm so happy today that Mr. George finally tapped out. I think he saw Mr. George and Mr. Joe tap out. I think they saw today what really confused their minds.
What?
The crowd people saw today that came and appreciated.
Another Donald Trump crowd basically coming up. Go ahead, Carter.
Why you interrupt me?
Sorry. Go ahead, old man.
Yeah, so and you know, when I listen to George's conversation just now, and you know, Peter is like he's sounding frustrated.
But let me ask you this. I know you're very strict. You're very strict. I know you're sedition, so you will tell the CDC line, party line, but that's fine. This government been in power for 5 years. Has no reshuffle. That means, in my mind, and I could be wrong, in my mind, that means all of the people that are serving these key positions, they're doing quite well. Is there any, why would I ask Carter not to be political here this evening? There'll be a joke. But let me ask this question anyway. Has there been any tangible stuff that perhaps you would point to that have changed many lives in Liberia? And please don't give me school fee stuff, I beg you.
Why will you try to restrict my answer? Don't give me school fee stuff.
Because that's I want you to give me some serious stuff. I want you to give me. Go ahead, but give me anything. Go ahead. Make your answer.
If we just make correction on the assertion you and Mr. George put out there that there has not been any reshuffle, that's not true. That's not true. So when I say there were one reshuffle, you say, but I only one. When the president reshuffle somebody from one ministry and took it to another place.
Okay.
Reshuffle is to display people from one area to another, right?
Okay.
Take them from one location.
Okay. I'm not gonna get a thing what I'm looking for. Let me forget it.
Wilson Tapper was reshuffle. It's not on a reshuffle. He was
okay. All right. Reshuffle. Okay. All right. Can you stand by? Can you stand by? Let me.
Oh my God! You cut me off again.
No. Go ahead. Finish your statement so I can bring the other people on.
No, but this the thing. This is the thing I wanted to say here. I said the reason I'm called because I'm listening to the show and I'm enjoying you guys giving your analysis. It's like you guys throw your flag in, your tap out, because what you people are saying is a resistance of the Liberian people towards the negative propaganda you guys have been preaching for the past 5 years against this government. From the day President we are announced that you are going to be president of Liberia, you guys start putting on negative propaganda for him being elect. He will not succeed. And the man has shown you people that, yeah, I'm a man, great man walking, born to succeed. He has succeeded in his first 5 or 6 years. He has done a lot of things that
Carter, can you do me a favor and save that for tomorrow? Because tomorrow I'm coming for CDC. Then perhaps you can bring in your ammunition.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I will save it.
Okay.
I will save it.
All right.
But right now I know it's a painstaking era for you guys now. You don't understand what's going on in Liberia right now.
Thank you.
So I will save it for tomorrow.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But call back again. I beg you, so you can wrap it up for us as well.
Yeah, I will call back.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Langley, good evening. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, no, I just got touched for what you guys are saying. but also worked in Liberia and grew up there. Especially
you're working Liberia. You're working Liberia.
Yes, I work in Liberia. I came to the States just 2015.
Oh my goodness!
I worked in the private sector in Liberia. I served as program officer with the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh wow!
I worked as a public school teacher. My first degree in education, and went to law school.
So you're pretty much you have technical in the Liberian society. I mean you are everywhere. You're well grounded.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's good.
The reason, I mean, we all got to come to government is that there are misconceptions why people go to government, especially why people go in government to amass wealth. And to be honest with you, it's about time that we cut the legislative salary people from that 20,000-30,000 hours, cut it half. It should be a place where people go to sacrifice. Okay? Then additionally, the executive level, for come example, where the guys got money from to be buy a lot of motorbike, the wrong campaign one day. The police. The security sector, they're not well paid. Teachers are not well paid. Imagine if it's nurses, the health sector, investment pool, you have lawmakers going. First time I saw in Liberia in my lifetime, you see lawmakers going to talk to investors and taking our iron ore with trucks. Can you imagine what our environmental impact? So I'm saying that corruption and stigma has been too much in our society. We need to think about creating wealth, focusing on the private sector and having good government, a government that will serve the people, all right? Take care of basic social services. The letter the ambassador wrote is a serious letter. You put money in the budget, there's no hospital. Our people are sick and they are dying of preventable sicknesses, and they develop opportunity for employment. Our country is so rich, all right? For some of us, it's disgraceful. Look at small countries like Mauritius doing better. We have a potential, but no matter who becomes president, the semblance of government has to be positive, and the private sector has to be robust. Me and myself saw JFK with water tower, healthcare, efficiently our society in the 70s and the early 80s. But look at what happened. You go Liberia now, you can't even get faucet water. So it's our problem. We need to think about our country and future our country, and I think Liberians can do better.
So then let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. You being a former teacher and somebody who working in the private sector, I think you're one of those perhaps, and I can make that statement that perhaps you got your pulse on the heartbeat of Liberia, I would say. Why is it that Liberians continue to gravitate towards people who are not who do not have the ability to take them to the places that you think they should be going by this time? Why is that?
What happened is it's just poor leadership. I'm talking about leadership. I'm not talking about political leadership. Leadership stuff in the families and the community, our social fabric. I'll give you some example. Sanitation. People there eating food there all over the place in Liberia. You grew up, I saw Liberia. In 1978, 79, sanitation was good. All right. People clean their own diet. Look at agriculture. Prior to the civil crisis, I can remember I used to see my cousin, people from sending that to the LT at the farmers, that people the rigs were in Nigeria, but the farmers sending that to the better schools, and they were living better. They had better income. But now, when the system has broken down, all right, and everybody comes to the urban area, and the politicians are leading in a negative direction, it's just that people take politics like a good degree. Where if I tell you now how many people won't be sent there in Liberia, you jack. How many people won't be represented? We grew up seeing people being engineers, doctors, lawyers, and that aspiration kept us in our minds that, oh, let me grow up. I want to go to school to do this. I noticed in Liberia in the 70s, 80s, you not see children out of school. But now if you see how many children out of school in Liberia, you give us children selling in the street. So those are vital things we need to change. And it's not going to be overnight. You need dedicated leadership. And people think of corruption. They're talking about corruption, but we have to create wealth. We have to create a middle class. Let's take, for example, if you want to employ a professional civil servant, a civil servant should be a small place where people should be dedicated with professionals that pay well. If people are paid well and they got retirement benefit, nobody will be corrupt.
Okay. All right.
Nobody will be corrupt. People will be accountable.
All right, Langley.
Other countries are doing that. You see in America, right? We take mortgage, right? You make sure you pay all your services and pay on time.
Yeah.
So if you employ a teacher or health worker that after 15, 20 years, you try to retire at home, you not know will absolutely be corrupt with a job or fill a job.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
The issue of ethics, integrity. All right.
Thank you, Langley. I wish you be calling us here from time to time and try to enlighten us as well.
I would say, we need to do it because like we got nowhere else to go. We can't give up our country. It's a better country. Everywhere got our own shortcoming. But we need to look at the positive. For me, I'm that kind of person.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
I owe a lot to Liberia.
Thank you. Good to know that. Thank you. Let me go to IE number 9. IE number 9, good evening.
How you guys doing this evening?
We're doing good. Yeah, yellow jacket, yellow boys. We're doing good.
No, you and Mr. George, even though my own IE man, you're having fun all week. You know, Mr. Soul is not here. The only objective.
He's black. We're black. Mr. Soul completely. We black him. Okay.
But anyway, let me go straight to the point. So today, like I just said, today was a resounding message that was sent out to the opposition, telling them that President George Manuia is in charge, and he's going to be in charge for the next 6 years. That's just a sample in Montserrat County. Now, let's talk about what Mr. George said.
You were in Basel. You was in Grand Basel County. You was IE number 9. You were in Grand Basel County.
Mr. George, you want to know why the people going out there to say thank you to the president?
Right.
Because the president changed a lot of things that we are not seeing in that country from the time we were born. I would say for myself, we've never had a park, a real modern park.
Oh my goodness.
Where the American ambassador would leave the embassy yard and go play basketball. To be free to go and play basketball. Okay? More than 3 and 4 up to 5 going on in the city. That's improvement. Nobody's saying everything that the president promised was
granted.
IE number 9. You got IE number 9. Hold on. Let me push back. Aaron, let me push back a little bit on this. I agree with you. They got all the parking thing. But we're still sending money home. You know that. To feed people back home. You know that, right? Are you there?
I'm listening.
You know, we take after we get paid, we're still sending money home for people to eat.
Yeah.
And we got parks, we got basketball parks and things like that. But we're still sending money home for people to eat. You know that, right?
Mr. Cole,
how do you account for that?
When was the last time people didn't say which government was in
you see, that's one thing I learned, boy. I'm trying to tell you, as you bring up about the park, I'm trying to tell then you're going back to another government.
Okay. Always go to Liberia.
Okay. All right.
All our people that were here were just sending money.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Because I'm just trying to give you guys, I'm trying to give this a go. The reason why the people went out there today, one of the brilliant people were feeding to tell the president thank you because of what he did. We talk about things like the free tuition to public colleges. Okay, we're talking about the wired fees. We're talking about chiefs.
Aaron, let me ask you this. Aaron, you mind if I ask you a question?
I'm listening.
Are you being a strong supporter of President Weah? If he was defeated, are you have the ability to accept a defeat? Do you have the ability to accept the defeat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we accepted it twice, right?
No, that's a
Yes,
different.
we accepted it twice.
Because
Even
you're.
though-
I mean,
even
now
though-
that you have
even though
tasted,
we won
now that
twice,
you have tasted the
even
power,
though you know
are you
here,
able? Now
the
that you have
proposal
tasted the
is
power,
open
do
on
you?
the platform that we won twice, but we still accepted it.
No. Now that you have tasted power, do you able now? Do you have the ability to relinquish power once you're defeated?
Who gonna beat us?
Okay.
Who
So that means you're not gonna. They're not gonna get. But they don't think anybody gonna beat them.
That's what I'm telling you. We believe in the democratic process.
Okay.
We
All right.
believe in the democratic process, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We believe in the democratic process. You know, but you guys, I just want you guys. Let me leave you guys with this one thing. Okay?
Yeah.
Let me leave you guys with this one thing. Even if they have been, if it was James Salisa Giba, okay, who was going to be president of Nigeria, it was going to be the same natural gravity.
No, you're Barrow man. You're Barrow man. No. You're Barrow man. Barrow people, they think smart. So don't give me that. I beg you.
You know what? But I just want to tell you, guys, I'm watching the show, I'm enjoying the show, but I just want Papa George to know that the people telling President Weah, thank you, because he did something, okay? And he's going to continue the work from where he started. We're going to continue for the 12 years, okay?
All right.
So thank you, guys. I'm enjoying the show. I'm listening.
Thank you. Mr. George.
Yeah.
This is the problem we're going to face. Because they have seditions, and the supporter of President Weah had programmed himself for the next 12 years. So any other person you defeat them right now, your defeat has to be massive. Let me take the call here. Then that's what I want us to wrap with. Let me take this call here. Samson told I brought up. Hello, could you please lower your monitor, please? Lower your monitor. Can you lower your monitor? Thank you. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
I'm calling from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Thank you for joining us. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, thank you for your informative platform. I just want to tell the Liberian public, those who are in the diaspora, that there is transformation going on in Liberia. Do not allow anybody to fool you that there's nothing going on in Liberia. If that is the case, let them tour Liberia and look at the Liberia Development Index. Okay? The caller was telling you about people about talking about PACs. You were talking about the other guy who came in. I live in this country now for 30 years. For the first time in Liberia, I'm riding over a smooth coal-tar paved road in the country. There are hard road development going on all over the country. Mecca, electricity.
Are you saying there was never asphalt on the in the country of Liberia before?
Where did you find it in Monrovia? You could take Monrovia to be Liberia, and which is not true.
No. Listen,
that's why you are saying where the quota went in Liberia.
Yeah, but before the quota from Monrovia all the way to Ganta was built by Sally.
Come on, man. When does that happen? That thing happened April 12 when the territorial of building that road when the coup came. They just left it like that. And during the war, 10, 15 years old war, we fought war. You put one for miracle to happen in Liberia like that? Where the 16 billion that were pumped in our country there after the war? Where did they go?
20, not 16, that 25 billion. 25 billion.
Okay, thank you. Okay, where did they go? In our country, you put how many taxes in Liberia?
Okay.
Let us give credit where it belongs. This guy is transforming Liberia. Let me tell you people something. It is this time in Liberia. These are a peak. Let us gain our support and we can continue another government. But this is Joy Weah time. Okay. Nobody can beat in Liberia.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Judge?
Yeah.
All right, folks, we'll go ahead and take the number off now and let Mr. George and I just wrap it up.
Mr. Toll, you see, everybody is entitled to their opinion. But
okay, let me take Langley. I will ask you to be very brief. because we're off. Let me just take him here. Langley, oops. Hello? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, okay, Langley, make it brief for us, please.
Yeah, I had to come back, all right? The guy who's called just now is misinforming the society, okay? I'm not against President Weah, okay? Liberia has the potential to develop, but we are not developing ourselves. Critical among those things we are lacking is human capital. Basic social services now in our society. People are not going to school, not taking control of our development responsibility. Can you compare University of Liberia or Liberia education to that of the 70s? Or investment?
No.
In that place that Indian people opening rubber company. Indian people control our economy, opening rubber company. It's time for us to get our hands both in the private and public sector.
Okay.
And that means anybody. Our country not doing well.
All right.
I just want to correct that.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. That's one thing I like about Liberian Public Radio audience. They are very engaged.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Mr. George.
Not our Langley. The gentleman that spoke before Langley. Let me set the record straight for him. He doesn't know anything about Liberia. He a liar.
No, Mr. George, we can't say that.
No, hold on there, Samson.
No, but Mr. George,
let me push back. If anything is not true, you can say it's a lie. That's not
Mr. George, we but we can't.
So that's not Mr. Toe. That's not an insult. If someone says
all right, okay, go ahead.
He just lying.
Okay, go ahead.
Something to the road from Buchanan before 1980. That road was not paved.
Okay.
No,
but I was just saying that we use the word untrue.
Untrue. But I mean, so many people, you just got to tell them what really look like. I don't have a problem with you supporting George Weah, but don't come and say something that you know is completely out of whack. Just complete. I mean, that's it.
But you heard Langley. Another caller came in and tried to set a record.
No, Langley didn't talk about that one. Langley spoke about something different. What I'm saying here is, 1980, the road from Morova to Buchanan was paved. The road from Morova to Ganta was paved before 1980. Dorking, he paved the road, the Bamangida Highway, to pave that road. How can somebody come here and say he never drove on the quota in Morova until George Weah? Is that a statement you want for me to come to dignify?
Not really, but you.
So sometimes when you just gotta call it what it is. So how can someone come and make that kind of statement?
All right. Okay. We all know that.
You and I, we need our electricity in Morovia. The Matele Estate, 1979. The old Matele Estate. The road was built, it was paved. All those streets, 1979, all those streets, 12th Street, 9th Street, 8th Street, all those streets were paved by Tower during the OAU. All those streets were paved by Tower during the OAU. Some of us were in grade school, elementary school. We were in Morovia. So if you don't know the history, then don't come and speak about it.
Okay.
Don't come and speak. Every shoko there, that road was paved. Every shocker, that road was paved. And you come, you want to tell people that person is the only person who can and pave all the roads in Morovia and the area just need. Look, President Weah, yes, he had built park. He's building park. Good. He paid, the government he took a wire school fee. Good. Those are good things. That's what I'm saying. That's the best President Weah can do. That's why he cannot go above that again. So that's what I'm saying. We need to replace him.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
Let me bring Carter in, who will wrap it up, give us his wrapping, and then you can close it because we gotta get out of here on time tonight. Okay. Go ahead, Carter.
Thank you, Pato. So this the thing. I listened to the caller over there saying, education in the 70s and university, whatever. Liberia at the time had 3.5 million people in the country. How many people benefited from the higher education in Liberia as compared to now? How many people? You see, when we're talking, sometimes I listen to some Liberians, like we were not born in Liberia. We grew up in Monrovia from the 70s all the way until the war came, and April says we left Liberia. Went back there, we saw. We're not somebody that gets born in America and sat down here all our life. We know nothing about Liberia. Liberia was focused on, at the time, was focused on Monrovia. Monserrado, not even the entire Monserrado County. I just seen the part George talking about roll a year ago again.
No,
Monserrado County, the
Mr.
county,
George, let him finish.
Monserrado County, which is the political setting of the entire country. Monserrado County, underdeveloped. Leave Monrovia, the capital, and go to the capital city they call Bentor. Monserrado capital city, Bentor. Go there. What you see there? Mott. That was the capital city. That's where Tower came from, Bentor. Go there, Mott. When we're talking about development, you cannot compare what is happening unprecedentedly. What is happening now compared to back in the day.
That's why I say keep your fire for tomorrow.
Why you try to restrict me? Because you see, when the opposition they come here and try to divert and distort the truth, when we want to correct the checkpoint, then Mr. Took and get out of there, play in a defensive move to say, oh, come here tomorrow. Okay, Mr. Took, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I won't give you too much pressure tonight. But tomorrow will be on it. Because Mr. Josh and the caller, oh my God. I will leave for that because I know right now the tension is on. You mesmerized. I come in mesmerized about what you saw today.
Is that right?
And it will play on you for a little bit. It will play on you for a little bit. You will get used to it. All right. Okay. And, you know, the president is a human magnet.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Josh, what will be your closing?
You see, can I come tomorrow? Because then we'll go in depth. Because some question I want to ask you. You were born in Monrovia. And so you will be one of the best ones because so many people when they come, they say this Monrovia, yes. You're talking about Monrovia, but let me just leave for tomorrow. But Mr.
That drew a paved according to I was there recently, and the pavement that I saw, even though they're bad off now, but they've been there for years.
It was paved during the whole time.
Yeah.
I was there. So you see, and Mr. So that's why I said the people they distort the truth. That's why sometimes you just call them just as it is. Because you can't be talking to people that they say that you are the only person that live in Monrovia. Someone over there. We saw the project going on. And for you to come, I'm not saying if you talk about Royal George, where he's building some roads, yes, he's building some parks, that's good. Wire tuition, that's good. But is it enough? No. For what is coming into the country, it's not enough. I'm not saying I can come and say.
Okay. All right.
I will call him, but I can't. You can't sit down here and let one of the Americans and get to Tabata there. We will let it fly.
All right.
No Tabata fly again.
Oh my God! Tomorrow will be here. Tomorrow is going to be that either conversation.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll be talking facts and looking at things. Look at the entire Southeast.
It will be heated. I mean,
and Mr. Toll, you are saying something. Let me just climb on this thing here. Look at the Southeast. 6 years going to. What the people of the Southeast can tell somebody that this government, this is the program, the signature program they done in this country. So even if this man leave, he will be removed for this. Where is it in the Southeast? Where is it? Grand Gita.
I'm going to take the signature program.
I mean, we can't do that. You've given your closing already. Please, let us don't start all over.
Okay. I'm sorry.
What is the signature program in Grand Crew? What is the program today in Sando County that the people can say, the government 5 years, this is what they have done here. We have to now, we put all things under the microscope. Since you people coming to say this person is the best person ever had, but I'm talking about today horses that the person is the only person that build horses. And I look at people, my people, Cabral Estate, Stephen Tower Estate, Bannerville Estate, Matadi. All these things were built by George Weah. It is anyway, it is the right to give glory to who they want to. But the facts, we have to check it. You do good, we say, yeah, this one you try. This one, no, you can't take credit for it because you didn't do it, or people did it. Some people did it and you add it onto it. So you can't come and say you're the only person, because this notion that the puffering around, the carrying around, the person is the best person ever in Liberia. I don't know the yardstick they're using to measure it. And those people who, look, this is politics. You have to support some side. So the young people that are turning on to support, to change where we are, that's good for them. But the question is, has your life changed? Okay. Or the community you grew up in, has it changed?
All right. Let's tune in for tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Tu.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it.
To the listeners.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I go and do all your research and come back?
Okay. All right. Thanks, Mr. Joshua. Appreciate it. Say good night
Thank
to
you.
you as well. Again, folks, Samson to Liberian Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again for the wonderful show tonight. Those of you that call in, we appreciate it. Those of you that are making comments on Facebook, we appreciate that as well. One thing I want us to understand is that none of us has the magic wand to say Liberia will move and Liberia will move. But we have to have genuine engagement with each other. Let us do so with respect. Let us do so with responsibilities. Because we're just trying to get ideas. We're wrestling over ideas, nothing else. Nothing else. When people come out and say, President Weah did this, he did that, if they're true, those are policy. Because of policy, because he set policies in places to do these things. And if they are not true, still the policy, and we'll deal with that. But we must talk only about policy, nothing personal. Like the old saying, the liberal would say, nothing personal or business. Of course, that's the Godfather. But I just want to say this here to all of us again. Tomorrow, we're going to go through fact-checking some of the comments that was made by President Weah. And we will do our best as well to fact-check Ambassador Waka. If there's any statement out there that we thought needed to be fact-checked, we will do that. Fact-checking does not mean that whatever the man's saying, he doesn't believe that. We're just saying perhaps that's true, perhaps it's not. Join us tomorrow. And Mr. So is still out. Hopefully we'll see maybe this week or early next week he might return. We don't know yet, but he's still out. And let us offer our prayer for him and his family as well. And I want to thank all of you that have been continue to pray and call him. We thank you very much. And we'll be back. The team will be back again tomorrow. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. We'll say thank you very much. Let's meet again tomorrow. Samson to the liberal. Raku. And I'm here for Kumaya business. I here to be truthful. Samson to liberal. Thank you very much and good night, folks.